Frills, DJ No Frills, representing for the Van High 87. Chase Flow from Shaolin to Spain. You know what the question is? Not why, but why? And don't you ever forget, it's Wu-Tang, Wu-Tang forever.
Throw me up in the Yo, was in my bag and in my duffel now. And if homie music dope, I got a couple pounds. Bust them down, hit the town, do my hustle round. Spin the block, throw it in the pot, watch it bubble down. I'm on my Wu-Tang. Guard body, palm shotties for the Wu-Tang clips. Off the radar, fuck a hater cause some dudes ain't rich in the spirit, so I'm screaming out, who ain't rich? I'm from the island, not just Staten when it's real out here. Niggas saw trees and water, you get killed.
Okay, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are across the globe. Welcome to On the Sofa with yours truly, Esther Austin. Well, today with me, I have this incredible young man all the way from Philly, in the US of A, and his name is Chase Flow. Chase Flow, you know, go with the flow. Wow, 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 wow. That's right.
Whoa. We gotta get the
sound. And he's been on a tour. He landed in London this week and he's got an event tomorrow. So we're going to talk about, you know, what he's doing, what is he doing in London, you know, what's the tour about, and just get a, you know, more of an insight into Chase Flow. So welcome, Chase.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
No, a pleasure. You were introduced and I'm highly recommended by a mutual friend of ours, Jack. So a pleasure to have you on. Hold on. There we go. So before I go any further, Chase, in a nutshell, in a peanut shell, maybe a crab shell, who is Chase Flow?
Man, so Chase Flow is I feel like now, before like a couple years ago, I could just say one thing, but it's like now that, you know, I've grown, Chase Flow become a plethora of things. I'm an artist DJ. I am a music producer, and man, I'm just all about, you know, just a human being that just loves sharing the joy and high vibrations, you know, through the gift of music. So
love that.
Yeah.
Love that. Yeah, you're on that sort of frequency. Wow. Absolutely. And this is good because yesterday I had a bit of a crash day, because usually my vibes are good, but I guess I was tired, and then I had a couple of conversations with a couple of people and I just felt deflated and no wounds. But I got myself back on track and had to have a bath last night, and, you know, like they say, rebuke it back to where it needed to go to.
Yes, you got to cleanse that space.
Absolutely. So yeah, back to you now, my dear. So you are currently in London. You've been on tour. You've said it's all written down here. You're on tour at the moment, but also tomorrow you will be hosting an official listening party. So first and foremost, tell us about that party, and then we're going to go back in terms of who you are. Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. So basically the listening party tomorrow's, you know, representing my fam. I am one, you know, member of the Vampires. So the Vampires is a new collective, you know, coming soon, and we are, you know, all Philly based. We're DJs, producers, songwriters, you know what I mean, and just dope creators, man. That's just, again, like I said, we all about pushing high vibrations and just, you know, taking the music, man, and just putting it back. And, you know, we all hip hop heads. So myself, DJ No Frills, my bro 87, and we all just got together, and yeah, we just forming an alliance to just bring our powers together. So the event is in celebration of the new project that's coming soon. And we just paying homage, man, to just those who inspired us, you know, through our journeys as creatives, you know. And so this first project, you know, we got my little bro, man. Shout out to the beast from the East, Wavy Jones. He's an awesome actor, artist from the States as well. And we did a tribute project to Wu-Tang.
Okay, yes.
Wu-Tang, man, has definitely been a source of inspiration to all of us. And it just so happens that, Wavy. Like I said, he's been an accomplished actor in the States. He's going to be in the season 3 of the new Wu-Tang American Saga series.
Oh, might have to get an interview in there with him. Hint,
Yeah.
hint.
So it's just kind of a thing where it just kind of was like an idea that just sparked from a conversation that we had in the studio, and then one thing just led to another, and then boom, it's like he ended up getting that role, man, and it just all is like clicking together. So man, just shout out to the Wu Tang, man. Thank you for the inspiration. RZA definitely is just one of my favorite people of all time, man, who just really inspired me as an all around creative. So I guess just my way of, our way of showing our thank you and appreciation to our heroes. So I'm here, like I said, in London, traveling man world tour. I've been out here in Europe for about 2 weeks now. I just got in a couple days ago from Rome. I was doing a cruise. I was DJing on a cruise. Shout out to
Nice.
Traveling Days and Celebrity Cruises. Yeah, we did a tour around the Mediterranean, so that was really really cool. To just kind of go around and do that. And yeah, we like I said, we touched down in London, so we're gonna share the new project amongst other things that's coming from the crew. And yeah, we just want to get the people in London behind it, and see, show them where we at with it.
Nice. That's a really great introduction. So that weren't no nutshell. That was a crab shell. But thank you all the same. Fantastic.
Yes.
And you talk about the music and you use the words like vibration and high levels. What to you is high vibration music? If you just coin that, I mean, I know what that is. So I know it's about the words because words have energy and power. And then even the vibration within the notes. There's vibrations within the notes. And so they are, and it's also where they land within our spirit, within our soul. So that's my interpretation. But what's your interpretation of that, Chase?
And you everything that you said, words have power, because you can speak life, you can speak death. So, it's just all about what energy of, what are you going to convey out of your mouth and your message. And I know just for me, growing up, what I'm saying, just in a Christian family, just the values of life and, positivity were always instilled into us. And so, being a God fearing man, I just choose to use my gifts that to just speak life and just to really inspire people, because I feel like it's just enough negativity that we deal with just getting on
Absolutely.
to work and just the things that we see in society and media, and it's just things that kind of just bring us down. So I just want to be the alternative to basically, like I said, use my gifts and talents to basically just uplift you and just remind you of that good time. So, just with the lyrics to the beats, and, we already know that the frequency of love and high vibration, 528 hertz. So, I mean, if you want to get down to a scientific side, we could go there. But yeah, I'm just all about, man, it's just feeling good. And just because music is just one of those things that it just unifies people. Like,
Ab-
we can speak
yeah,
different languages, but it's just when you feel something and that music, it can bring people together. And being a DJ, and just traveling around the world and doing that, I've seen that and just the effect that music has on just people. So I just love to share that opportunity and that gift to just be able to bring people together.
Welcome to Soul TV. We now stream our TV shows on Melon app. Melon is a free live streaming app used by top creator podcasters and more. If you would like to find out more, check out the website at www.melonapp.com. That's www.melonapp.com.
excellent, excellent. And it's also about being conscious of what you're putting out there and being conscious and aware of what you're putting out there.
Exactly.
And that and you're clearly in that space. And so let's go back a bit. So just give us a little bit about Chase. How did you initially get involved, discover, or evolve into who you are now? And maybe what were some of those pivotal points where you realized this is what I want to do in my life?
Hmm. So yeah, man, like just a little bit about me. Born and raised in Philadelphia. I've been there, most of my life. Then, about 12 years ago, I decided that, all right, I really want to take this thing serious and really see what it is that I got. So I moved to Los Angeles. I moved out there, and I took went to school. I went to school for, music production engineering. And then, I knew that I had these, natural abilities to not only just rap and write songs, but that I could hear music and then I could produce it. And so, I just basically went there and fostered my skills at the Los Angeles Recording School and things like that. And then eventually it just took one thing took me to another. And from there, I just got involved with different internships and helping out different people. And then, I just saw that, okay, man, that these people are really like making, a living of just doing this and traveling the world. I want to do
Yeah.
something like and eventually, I just continue to put myself in those places and spaces. And then eventually, being in school, you have the network. And then, I also took myself down and I learned the business side of it.
Mm.
And then fast forward, I started my own label, Chase What Matters Music Group. So, we're also celebrating that too. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I just signed, another producer, and we're out here, like I said, building that whole thing up, and now we got the Vampires Camp. That's one of the next out of that, man, and we just moving. So those are some things that really kind of got me spawned into who I am, and then of course you learn from life
Mm.
lessons, will check you. And I've definitely had some of those moments of being out there to play. I'm sure that
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah, just having those lessons, and you I learned through trial and error. And but eventually, you learn from those mistakes, and thank God that I have. And it just kind of culminated me into this individual. So I just want to just utilize that and just continue to be an alternative.
That's it. That's the word. Be an alternative. It's funny because I used that term this morning because I not long come back from the barbers. I got one part of my hair done. The next part's going to be done tomorrow. But we had this incredible conversation, the barbershop conversation,
Yeah.
where you keep things real. It's not about social media. And I remember coming away saying this was an alternative type of conversation that people need to hear. Like you said, there's so much bombardment of stuff,
Hmm.
fake stuff, superficial stuff, and these conversations keep it real.
Right.
And the thing is, I've been listening to some of your music now. Keys to the Kingdom. I really love the vibe about that, but also the message in that, as well as the American Dream. Now, there's something where you say that, and you can put me right if I'm wrong. The scene be chasing the scene be chasing the American dream. The people something got lower self esteem. I couldn't. So, and I'm like, dang. And then you said something else, and I'm like, when you stop and listen to the message, because we can do this, we get caught up sometimes in this. But then when you actually listen, and those words caught me, so you can sort of complete that sentence, and then there's something else that you said about the prettiest people do the ugliest things. I'm like,
Yeah. Man, I wish, you know what, and that was the inspiration, man. One of my guys, Kanye. I actually recycled that from Kanye, from All Falls Down. So it seems we chasing the American dream. The people the people high themselves have the lowest self esteem.
mhm,
And that's facts. What he said in the song, the prettiest people do the ugliest things. It's you would think like, in the world, man, like sometimes when people climb that mountain to get up where they at, they, kind of gotta rob Peter to pay Paul, it seems. And a lot of those folks, man, especially just in this industry that we in, you know what it is. It's just like people just kind
absolutely,
of, out to just in wolves and sheep clothing.
yeah,
And I'm just speaking that because that's a reality that I face, and that line that resonated with me so much, man. So shout out to Kanye for for the inspiration for
yeah.
that, and then I basically took it. I even have a tattoo
Oh
on.
my gosh, I was just about to say that.
I
I was
was like,
about to say I probably want to get that tattooed.
so it's a
Yeah,
lyric. It's a lyric from that same song, and it wraps around my arm, and it says, "If God gave you the world, could you handle it?"
yeah.
And a lot of times, we always say, man, if I had this, I had that, I would do this. And it's like, all right, if you were really put in that position, like, would you be able to handle it? So I feel like that was just something that really resonated with me. And I was like, man, and I got the art when I was with the artist who tattooed, I was like, yo, this means a lot to me. So I need to get this. So yeah, if God gave you the world, could you handle it? Yeah, that's a real thing. So yeah, that song, man, American Dream, that just has a long story behind it. That's really just that means a lot to me, and just that record was just something that I did, from a place where I wrote this song years ago. It's funny, but I could never find the right music, and then
Mm.
I was in the supermarket, and the beat that I did, true story. I had connected at the time with J. Cole's manager, and he was working on, I think it was like Friday Night, like it was one of those albums, and he was looking for songs at the time, and I was just like, "Yo, I got this beat," like, and I did the joint, and I don't know why I was in the market, and I heard it, and I originally had made that beat for J. Cole, and his and then it just clicked to me, and I was like, "Yo,
This
this
is
song is dope!" Like, and then it just hit me, and then fast forward, I went and recorded just the demo, and I sent it over to him, and his manager was like, "Yo, this song is dope." He's like, "But yeah, Cole, like he kind of finished the album, so he wants to, just kind of stick with, what he has." And a lot of people, when I kept shopping it to them, they was like, "Yo, you sound right on that. You need to keep that for yourself. Like that's you." And
wow.
yeah, and then fast forward, I just put the song out, and we see what it did, and it resonated with a lot of people.
Mm. But in all of your music, like you said, it's a message, and it's also on a conscious, high vibrational level. So, your messengers, it's just down to what message we're putting out there.
Yeah,
Um,
facts.
and this, I've really enjoyed this conversation. And obviously, people can find you. You're at www chaseflow.com or the chaseflow.com.
Yeah, so it's www.gochaseflow.com.
Okay, got it wrong. Yeah, a senior moment. Okay, forget it.
It's all good.
And in winding down, Chase, what is it that you can? I mean, other than what you've shared so far, but what else would you say to someone who wants to follow that dream? Whether it's the American dream or whatever the dream is, because as you know what you've got to go to if you're fixed and focused on getting the dream. So,
Right.
what is it that you can just inspire further into their lives? And maybe you can do it in a hip hop, just do a bit of rap to it as well.
Man, no, like just real point, man, is just don't give up. Just don't give up on yourselves. I know a lot of times, we have our days. We're human. We're gonna feel good, we're gonna feel bad. But I just feel like one thing that really inspires me every day is just knowing that I still have work to be done out here, and it's like I still have ideas that are undone, and things that are just that constantly just come to me every day. So that means that it's something that you have to do. So don't give up on yourself, and just just continue to keep yourself aligned with the things that are truly in your heart. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's the
Yeah, don't sell out. Well, ladies and gents, I just want to say it's been a real pleasure talking to Chase. I've loved his energy, I loved his words, I loved his vibration and energetically what he stands for. So you can check him out on his website, and but also if you are around now, the listening party is going to be at is it 1BB?
yeah.
1BB? B?
He's in Camberwell in South London.
Camberwell. Yeah, 63 Camberwell Road, SE50EZ. So I'll put that along the bottom. So if you are around tomorrow, and I believe it's from 6 or 6:30 to 11:30. So do show at IBB's
Yeah,
63 Camberwell Road, SE50EZ. Um
yeah,
party, and that's where it's gonna be at. So just thank you for your time, wishing you all the best, and let's just keep trucking. Let's keep trucking.
yes.
Okay. And also, I'm going to be a bit cheeky. I know I might put you on the spot because you said you rap. Something about my name. Something about say my name. Say my name.
And my name. Oh man, she want me to say her name like Destiny Child, but I've been here out in London chilling for a while. We on a live set, It's Miss Esther Austin. Yes, we out here all freestyling. Day wildin'. I'm not. Man, we out here. We hot. Yeah.
You're a poet and you know it. That's my little bit that I can add to that.
Famous frills, DJ No Frills, representing for the band. High 87. Chase Flow. From Shaolin to Spain. You know what the question is? Not why, but why? And don't you ever forget. Ever forget. It's Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang forever.
Turn me up in the headphones. Yo, was in my bag and in my duffel now. And if homie music dope, I got a couple pounds. Bust them down, hit the town, do my hustle round. Spin the block, throw it in the pot, watch it bubble down. I'm on my Wu-Tang. Guard body, palm shotties for the Wu-Tang clips. Hold the radar, fuck a hater cause some dudes ain't rich in the spirit, so I'm screaming out, who ain't rich? I'm from the island, not the Staten when it's real out here. Niggas saw trees and water, you get killed.